Welcome back. This is gonna be a different kind of video, one that I don't really make, but I did feel like it'd be interesting to do, right? Because this is really much just in response to my last video where I was talking about the gacha revenue and the gacha charts, and people were not really happy with what I was saying in that. Basically, to sum it up, right? Basically, to sum it up, what I was really saying was, I guess some people may have misinterpreted that, but what I was basically the point I was trying to get across is that Wuthering Waves, at least the launch, in my opinion, was successful because they made a lot of money on that. And before I continue, I do want to say that the numbers in that chart are all wrong. We're all misrepresented. Because apparently, I learned about this like a day or two ago. That the charts are wrong because they only recorded the first 15 days of June. So all those numbers are a lot lower than they should have been. And that makes sense because I remember I was looking at those numbers and I was like, this seems odd. Honkai Star Rail only made 60 million on the Firefly banner. That makes no sense. It should have been way over 100 mil. But, you know, now it makes sense why those numbers were a little off to me. But the point that I'm trying to make is I gave out misinformation and I apologize. That I didn't see that until like later that day after I posted the video because I wanted to, see the charts and get the video out. So I apologize for that. That's my fault. But that's not the point of the video. I just wanted to address that. Really, what I really want to talk about was, it seems to me, right? It seems to me that there seems to be this weird obsession with people really not wanting Wuthering Waves to succeed, right? Now, here's the thing. I'm okay if you don't like Wuthering Waves. I'm not saying you have to like Wuthering Waves, but you just have to be objective, right? Like here. I'll give you an example. I think Diablo Immortal is a shit tier game. That is a shit game, but it objectively makes $100 million every fucking day. Don't quote me on that, but they know it makes a lot of money, even though it's a shit tier game because of the monetization, right? So, and because of that monetization, companies are gonna copy that. They're gonna copy that predatory method of making money, and they're gonna replicate it, right? It's just being objective. That predatory way of making money makes money, and companies are going to replicate it, right? It's just being objective, right? It's objective to say that Wuthering Waves launch may have had issues, but in terms of monetary, like how much money they made and like how the launch could have been, I think it was a successful launch, right? Now, were there problems? Sure, I can agree there are problems, but those problems were addressed. They apologized for the problems. They compensated us for the problems, said they were going to fix the problems, or they already fixed the problems. So if you can't get over that, then you have a problem. I don't know with what, maybe your own life, who knows? But the point is that we need to move past that and address the now. And the now is that for the month of June, they made a lot of money. We don't know how much yet, but they made a lot of money, right? And I think the point that I think what people took away from my video was people thinking that I thought Wuthering Waves will surpass Genshin. And let me make something absolutely clear. Let me put it on record. I don't think Wuthering Waves will ever be bigger than Genshin Impact. I don't think that's ever going to happen. There might be patches where Wuthering Waves might come out on top, but as overall, as a franchise, as a name, as a company, it will never be bigger than Genshin. It just won't. Genshin is way too massive. Genshin is the game that broke the barrier, that broke the normie barrier. Genshin exists, Wuthering Waves exists because of Genshin. That's just true. If Genshin was never created, we wouldn't have Wuthering Waves. We wouldn't have Honkai Star Rail. You wouldn't even see a lot of these gacha creators, because a lot of these gacha creators got their influence, got their numbers and all their their communities from Genshin, right? So I'm not an idiot. I know for a fact that Genshin is not gonna, or not Genshin. I know that Wuthering Waves will never be bigger than Genshin, but I do think we should commend Wuthering Waves for being able to stand on its 2 feet against Genshin, right? Because you have to understand something. Right now we're saying the big 3 gacha games, right? We're talking about Honkai Star Rail, Genshin, and Wuthering Waves. Now it's probably gonna the big 4 because Zenless Zone Zero is gonna come out in 2 days, right? So like, let's say the big four. Let's just say the big four, because Zenless Zone Zero is like coming out in like 2 days, right? So let's just say the big four, right? 3 of those games are all Hoyoverse games. They're all the 3 of those games are from the same developer, same company. Wuthering Waves is going against all of them, right? Okay, maybe not Honkai Star Rail, right? It's different genre games, but it is fair to say that Wuthering Waves is going up against Genshin, and maybe even so Zenless Zone Zero. I know they're not the same type of game, but let's just say, for argument's sake, let's just say they are, right? That is still a commendable feat, right? That is still like David and Goliath, that's in a sense, right? Where you have the little guy going up against this massive behemoth of a company, and they're holding their own, right? And I think that's something that like should be like, hey, like, good, like, pat on the back, good job, you did something, right? But the way people will like go about trying to like make it seem like the game is worse than it is, I don't get it. I really don't. It's like they're like with Genshin, right? Like Genshin, like, here's the thing. Here's the thing I've learned about the Genshin community, right? I've been playing Genshin for like a year, close to 2 years. I'm gonna say close to 2 years. Over 2 years. No, I've been playing Genshin for over 2 years, right? And here's the thing I've noticed about the Genshin community, right? There's typically 2 types of players, right? There's 2 types of players that play Genshin. There are the Genshin enjoyers, right? The people who just enjoy the game, right? They play the game, they like it, but they understand that the game has faults, right? I like Genshin. I play Genshin too. You probably think otherwise if you saw some of my content on Genshin, but I do like Genshin. I play it almost every day. I still play it almost every day. And you know, people who enjoy Genshin, they can still at least admit like, hey, yeah, it kind of sucks that there's no end game. Well, at least no good end game, right? And this is coming from me. Like, I think I said this on like camera, like on stream. I'm probably like 1 of 10 people that still enjoys the Spiral Abyss when it's on a good rotation. But no, I still enjoy it. I'll go in, play it with like a 4 stars. It is what it is. But yeah, there's, other than Spiral Abyss and I guess the new Imaginarium Theater, but like people are divided on that, I guess. There really isn't that much to do. If you played the game since launch or like a year plus, you're probably at the point there's nothing to do, right? And that's just objectively true. I like Genshin, but I can admit that the game has its faults, right? So there's the people that enjoy Genshin and they like it, and I feel, and yeah, you should not attack people that enjoy Genshin. You really shouldn't. But the problem is these people who play Genshin, like these people over here, these people are overshadowed by these people, and these people have Hoyoverse's fist so far up their ass that Hoyoverse is tickling their uvula. These people right here, these people, right, the fist fucking enjoyers, right, are overshadowing the Genshin Impact enjoyers. And that's the problem, because these people are so fucking loud and annoying that people judge the community as a whole because of these fuckers, right? And it's baffling to me how delusional a lot of these fuckers are. Like, the biggest thing that confused me about the Genshin community was how adamantly they defended the game in the midst of the 6 months where we had nothing to fucking do and no story update, right? I remember, like, this is when I truly gave up on the Genshin Impact devs, like, completely. Like, I have no expectations anymore. I have no hopes. I have no expectations. I play the game for it is what it is. And this is when I lost all like hope and like expectations that the game was going to get better, right? They went on record to say that we're not going to do endgame, right? I know that changed because of Wuthering Waves, but let's just stick with the interview, right? They went on record to say that, yeah, we're not doing endgame because we don't want to give our people heart attacks for fighting against Hilichurls, right? That was their whole argument, right? And they said that the resources that they were going to use for the end game, right, that they're no longer doing no more, they're using that to focus on the story, right? That's what they said. They're going to use those resources to focus on the story. They want to focus on the story, make a story-based game. Okay, tell me why that for 4.3, 4.4, 4.5, and 4.6, there has not been a main story quest update in those 4 patches, all 6 weeks long. That is 6 fucking months with no main story quest update. Now they eventually came out with the Dainsleif quest in 4.7, and I won't lie, I thought it was good. It really was. I thought it was good. Good, but it was only half an hour long, right? But the point is, I liked it. It was good. But was it good enough to wait 6 months? Fuck no. It just wasn't. 6 months of nothing for a half an hour quest? Bullshit. It's nothing, right? And the people were defending that. Like it's wild to me. Like it's okay to criticize a game. It's okay to say that a game isn't as good as it should be. Do better. But like with Genshin, you just can't do that. With a lot of people, you just can't. And it's sad. It's honestly sad how delusional a lot of people will be. And once again, I'm not attacking everybody. I'm not attacking once again, I'm attacking these idiots. These people right here. These idiots I'm attacking. You people over here are fine. These fuckers are dumbasses, right? And like the point that okay, let me bring it all home. The point that I'm trying to come across, the point that I'm trying to make for this whole video is it's okay to like one or the other or even both, without having to be like, actually this game is better for this, or actually this game is the like, just play the game you want to play, and then let the people who are playing the game that you're not playing enjoy that game. I don't understand why like we have to, like, people have to be so delusional and act like they're fighting a war for their dearly departed wife. It's just play the game you want to play. I don't get it. I really don't. And like, here's the thing, right? Wuthering Waves, right? Do I think Wuthering Waves will break any sort of like barriers, right? Do I think Wuthering Waves will ever be like at the level of Genshin? No, it really won't. As a matter of fact, I think it's fair to say that like after 1.1, the relevance of Wuthering Waves will probably drop significantly, right? Unless they do like a very an insanely banger patch. I don't know like what that would be, but unless they do like an insanely banger patch, I don't think Wuthering Waves will like Wuthering Waves will probably like severely decrease in relevancy, right? Especially since Genshin's about to release Natlan in like the patch after like 4.8 is coming out in like I think 2 weeks. I haven't even kept track, but I know 4.8 is coming out soon, and then after 4.8 is Natlan, and that's going to be a massive patch for Genshin. So I know for a fact, like, for the next couple months, unless Wuthering Waves releases like a banger patch, it's going to lose relevancy. Like, I know that for a fact. I know, like, it just will. However, that does not mean we should just deny the efforts and let's be real, the successes that the game has done. Right, so far in the first month, first month, like month and a half, the game has done very well. It just has. And one thing I feel like we can all appreciate, not just Wuthering Waves, but Kuro Games as a company. One thing I think we can appreciate Kuro Games as a company is that Kuro Games has something that Genshin Impact, I don't want to say Hoyoverse as a whole, because, you know, I feel like Honkai Star Rail has this as well. We'll see about Zenless Zone Zero. But one thing that Wuthering Waves has that Genshin Impact doesn't, and it's very evident that Kuro Games has this, and or like Wuthering Waves has this and Genshin doesn't, and that is passion. This Wuthering Waves has passion. Genshin Impact does not. You cannot look at Genshin Impact and tell me that the people who make that game actually give a fuck about the game. You cannot tell me that. Wuthering Waves, right? Like, let me give you an example, right? When you look at all these like YouTubers and like influencers and like, you know, TikTokers and fucking streamers, right? They all say you have to have passion if you want to do this, right? And the reason why they say that is because there's going to be a period of time, right? It depends on if you have a viral clip or not or whatever, right? But there's going to be a period of time where you're going to have to do this shit for free. You're going to do this shit. You're not going to be certain if you're ever going to make it. You're not going to be certain if people are going to watch you or even like you or have so, right? So you need passion in order to do this because you're doing something that has no guaranteed return of anything, right? So that's why I say you need passion, right? I believe it's fair to say that Wuthering Waves has passion, right? The people who make Wuthering Waves have passion. Why? Because they gave out a free 5-star, which it definitely affected their bottom line, because this was at the time, this was during launch where nobody had a 5-star, right? A lot of people didn't have 5 stars. So them giving away a free 5-star probably enticed and encouraged a lot of people to not spend money. So that affected their bottom line, especially in a time where they needed to make money because they had to recoup the development costs of the game and, you know, fucking pay their developers so they could feed their children, right? This was at the most delicate time, and they still released a 5-star, which probably enticed a lot of people to not spend money, right? It takes passion to do that, right? Now, let's go back like what, 3-4 months ago, when Hoyoverse gave out 3 fates for 3 years. You're telling me the people that did that shit were passionate about the game or they give a fuck about you? No. Like let's just keep it real. Like name me a time. Like give me a time where Hoyoverse tried to give something to the community, be it like a free pull or like I don't know, maybe some kind of currency. Like they tried to do like some type of giveaway that like didn't cause some kind of massive outrage. Like the first anniversary, the second, the fucking 3 fates for 3 years. Like, come on, that's not passion. That's not people who give a shit about the game. Like, let's be real. Let's just be fucking for real, right? When you look at a game like I remember I said this before in another video. Playing Genshin in the current state that it's in, it genuinely feels like it's an abandoned game. I know it's not abandoned and it will never be abandoned because it makes way too much fucking money, but it feels like it's an abandoned game, right? Like it feels like you're playing a game that the developers just gave up on because it wasn't making enough money, so they put the bare minimum in just to keep the game alive, right? That's what playing Genshin really feels like, right? And like you come to Wuthering Waves, and yes, I feel like it's fair to say that right now Wuthering Waves is kind of like in a dead in a dead center right now, because 1.1 was this new story, which was really good, but they had the story in Mount Firmament, and then that was kind of really basically it. So it is fair to say that right now Wuthering Waves is in kind of a dead patch, but you can't deny that like the developers of Wuthering Waves have put in, like, they care about the game. They really do. Like you can see it from with how much they communicate with the community, how much they're trying to collaborate with the community. It really feels like they care about the game. Whereas you go to Genshin and it's like everything just feels half-assed. Like it really does. Everything just feels half-assed about Genshin, and it's just I don't know. Like it just boggles my mind how people will go to a level of delusion that's kind of scary just so that they can prove that Hu Tao is their girlfriend. It's mind-boggling to me. But you know, that's just kind of like the point where I'm at. The point that I'm trying to make is, if you like Genshin, play Genshin. If you like Wuthering Waves, play Wuthering Waves, right? But let's not come out here acting like Genshin can do no wrong or Wuthering Waves can do no wrong. Like let's just keep it. Let's just be objective about what we like, right? That's just all it is. That's all I'm trying to say, right? But yeah, I've been yapping for a little too long about this. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. It's an open discussion. Obviously, if you disagree, talk about it. I appreciate you for listening to me for this long. So yeah, thanks for watching.